Hey hoes.
You what?
Sorry. And welcome to today's video. You know, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I haven't posted on YouTube in like a few months, but I'm finally back with another video. This is actually a video I never thought I would make since, well, DBD has been out for 9 years now, with multiple map reworks to ensure that every map is perfectly okay, I must believe that for a second, I'm so sorry. It's not a secret that the majority of maps in DBD are very unbalanced, either favoring the survivors or the killer. The behavior has made countless efforts to balance them all out. And with all that, I mean, make the size smaller a bit, but add 20 pallets to concentrate with that. Whatever. Either way, this video is not about map balancing, because that should be a whole other video by itself, which I will make in the future after my yearly break.
Bitch, shut up!
This video is about a perk that I hold deeply in my heart since 2018, which is when I started playing this god-awful game that I am addicted to, and for whatever reason I can't seem to quit. And I now have 3.2k hours on. Anyways, that perk is no other than Balanced Landing. So, we all know that Balanced Landing is an exhaustion perk in DBD. What does that mean? Well, Balanced Landing activates after falling from a height as a survivor, reducing the stagger effect after falling by 75%, giving you a 50% haste effect for 3 seconds, and also suppresses the noise the survivors make when falling. Then it gives the player the exhausted status effect for 40 seconds. Sorry, I know that most people probably watching this video already know what Balanced Landing does, but in case any new players are here, I wanted to explain what it does. Anyways, moving on to the juicy part.
Oh my gosh, so creamy.
A long time ago, there was one map in Dead by Daylight that did not feature a height anywhere, so Balanced Landing couldn't be used at all. Unless you dropped in basement.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
But why the hell would anybody ever do that? Well, that map was no other than Shelter Woods, which was one of the released maps that the game came along with back in 2016, which is to be understandable since Balanced Landing didn't exist on the game's release until the first DLC came out, which introduced the survivor Nia, and it came out as one of her teachable perks. From that moment onwards, every single map featured at least one hill where the player could run up to, drop, and activate Balanced Landing, though for a while some maps had a chance to not spawn a hill. Like I remember playing on the The Groaning Storehouse. Kill me. And sometimes getting 2 heals on the map and sometimes 0. But it seems that behavior learned from their mistake and made it guaranteed that a heal will spawn on every map, except Shelter Woods. For some whatever reason, it took behavior 7 years to decide to rework Shelter Woods, so it would feature a drop for Balanced Landing to be used like what the actual fuck. I swear, every time I played on that map, I died, cause not only I had 3 perks only, there were like 3 pallets on the whole fucking map. I swear slugs are faster than behavior fixing issues. Anyway, behavior fixed this issue. A little too late. Right. A little. But at least everything was well for Balanced Landing, since it did feel like the perk was less situational, since more and more maps would come out that Balanced Landing excelled at, like RPD, Detox Saloon, Ormon Resort. Hell, even Haddonfield after its rework feels only playable sometimes with Balanced Landing. That is 1000% a conversation for another video, since it did get a little better lately with the pallet density update, but oh god, that's also another conversation for another video. However, this one map was announced and tested during the buggiest PTB and chapter ever released in Dead by Daylight. Ormon Lake Mine. Ormon Lake Mine was announced, actually wasn't even announced, this chapter didn't get any promotion whatsoever, so it was announced with the Doomed Cursed chapter. Doomed Course? Okay, why did I think this chapter was called Doomed Cursed? Anyways, it was announced the Doomed Course chapter, which, you guessed it, introduced the buggiest killer ever to be seen, maybe after the twins. The Houndmaster, the buggiest killer. So when I heard that a new map was playable on the PTB, I was very skeptical. I loaded up the PTB, since I'm on PC and I have the ability to do that. Sorry console gamers, I love you though. I got to play the new map. To my surprise, the map was visually stunning, had a great atmosphere, was fun for both sides, and featured multiple spots for Balanced Landing to be used on, 4 to be exact. Main, which you could drop from multiple sides, a hill, a tunnel slash hill, and this thingy that I don't know how to call in the corner of the map. Okay, side note, after writing the script, I actually realized that there is a 5th spot to use balance landing at this hole. Sorry, too many holes. Where you can drop down to the cave, so don't mind my lack of research. The map, however, actually didn't release until the Christmas event. I guess they wanted it to be in theme with the event for extra content, since, oops, not me hating, but the event was a copy-paste of the one from the previous year. Like, okay behavior. Right, moving on.
Bye, bitch.
This map is actually my favorite map in Dead by Daylight for the reasons I mentioned 5 seconds ago, and I'm not going to repeat, so I hope you paid attention. It was like a dream come true. I was insanely surprised with how good the map was, considering how lazy and unpolished the previous chapter was. Though that happiness didn't last for that long, cause Kaneki came out soon after. Okay, I'm kidding. I mean, I despise Kaneki for various reasons, but I won't get into that right now since it's not the point of this video. Okay, back on track now. That happiness didn't last long, cause a few months later, the biggest license DBD has ever acquired was about to release in DBD. The Five Nights at Freddy's chapter, which was announced that it would be including a new map. Since the last map we had gotten in Dead by Daylight was Ormon Lake Mine, the best map in DBD to date, my expectations were insanely high. So you girlies can imagine my face when I played on their new map, which is Freddy's Fazbear Pizzeria, on the PTB, just to find out that there were 0 spots to use balance landing on. Yep, that's right. 9 years after the game's release, 2.5 years after Shelterwoods had been reworked, Behavior had done it again. They released a map where balance landing was a waste of a perk slot once again. Anywhere I try to drop from, balance landing would just not activate. I'm actually kind of a fan of these short heights that don't ruin the survivors movement, but there's 0 excuses that at least one of these spots should be activating balance landing. Like, bro, what the actual fuck? Like, why? Why, Behavior? I made a whole TikTok at that time that got around 13k views, I think. It's been a few months. I don't remember anymore. A minority of people though in the comments kept saying this. It's not a big deal if balance landing doesn't activate anymore. Or, no one uses balance landing anyways. Or, lower your FPS to 60 and it should work. Why should a perk be tied to FPS if it's gonna activate or not? Frankly, I tried to do that and guess what? It did not activate. But this actually surprised me. The fact that Behavior had done it again after 9 years releasing a map where one of your perks could be useless due to map RNG is stupid. Instead of going one step forward, Behavior went one step backwards. Whatever, they would for sure fix it, right? Well, to my knowledge, there's still no dedicated spot for balance landing to activate even to this day, except the spot right here. It does activate it now, but I'm not sure if it is intended to be honest, but I'm gonna roll with it because I can actually use my perk. Well, after this whole fiasco, you would think the next map released in Dead by Daylight would be featuring at least one spot for balance landing to be used on, right? Yeah, fool me once, Behavior, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But you ain't me fooling me a third time. Oh wait, you did. Saying that this chapter was a buggy, rushed mess would be an understatement. The whole community was so frustrated with Behavior for a big variety of reasons that is worth a 40-minute YouTube video that does exist, by the way, by Arditha, so if you're interested in that, go watch it. Great video. Right, I got off track again. So with the Walking Bugs chapter, we got a new map. Or should I say, new loop? Because the only difference this map had from the rest of the maps in its realm was this small building of excuse for a main building that features the iconic Don't Dead open inside door. This map was no other than Fallen Refuge. This map not only didn't feature a height for balance landing to be used on, unless you want to drop in basement and break your legs, it's the most killer-sided map in the whole fucking game. The good thing is that the map is pretty rare, so I think I have only gotten it like 10 times since it came out, maybe less. So you could say it's not that big of a deal, but it kinda is because I'm pretty sure not a single survivor has made it out alive from this map. Either way, besties, there should be no map that makes a perk unusable, which basically leads me to... Behavior sucks ass and should stop designing maps in DBD without the appropriate effort and quality. Thank you for making the Ormon Lake mine though, because I love the map. Though I see it once a month, like, where the fuck is it? Anyway, thank you all for watching. I go live on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday, and You know it, I yap about DBD and myself since there's nothing more interesting than me. Right. Have a good day everyone, and I'll see you in the next one, Pookies. Bye bye.